Alright, so it's been around a week since IB results came out, and I thought I'd share a couple of thoughts that I've had over this past week. So I made a couple of bullet points up there, and I thought I'd just share. The first thing that I'd say is that throughout the IB, like when I first received my predictions, there was a massive shift of how I thought about it. Before it was more of like an aggregate, like out of 45. But then I remember like after I got my first prediction of 45, I sat in a hallway and I just kind of thought like, this is just through the consistent effort in every single class, all the help that people helped me with in every class, all the questions my teachers like answered. That's what led up to this, rather than, oh, I just got a big score. It's a quite simple lesson, but I think it's quite simple, like quite important to understand that these like small changes, kind of like the book Atomic Habits, if you've read that, it's kind of these small changes lead up to that big impact. And so I think that's very important to say because I'm definitely not the most intelligent person. And I can admit that because also most people wouldn't say that about me, even in my school, because they know that the only reason or the thing that distinguished me is that I just could work throughout consistently and like have that endurance for the 2 years. And while others, burnt out or just didn't have a reason why they really wanted the score or why they wanted to continue, I was able to go through and or like continue through and really like study and work hard for the years. And so I think that why is the most important. Like, why do you want to sacrifice all that time to study and to get this score? Why is it important to you? For me, it was universities and scholarships. Like, I could not study in the US without scholarships. That's why I needed these scores. That's why I needed these things. That was my strong why. And that's just for me, right? For other people, it might be different things. But if it's simply for external validation or kind of like for you to feel better about yourself that you got a certain score, like compared to others, like there was this like university or this graduating speech where this guy talked about the 16 second and how after all that work, he was valedictorian. It was all pointless. And if you do it for external validation, I completely agree. But I still feel very happy and very fulfilled for what I achieved. Like, I got the results and then I will live with that for the rest of my life in the sense, like I will continuously benefit from the fact that I was able to achieve the score, and I'll get the benefit of the doubt for many people. Like even in my internship right now, people just assume that I can kind of do things. And that's why like past experiences, not even the 45, but it's one of the things that I really value about it is that like you kind of get that benefit of the doubt. But my main point is if you only do it for external validation, it's pointless. Because at the end of the day, only the closest people around you will actually even reach out to you and be like, congratulations. So please don't do it for that. For me, it was also kind of proving to myself, like as I mentioned, or I don't know if I mentioned, in ninth grade, I didn't get like very good grades. And so I wanted to see like, can I actually do this? Can I put in the work and get it? And also to thank my teachers, like if you go to my older videos, there's this Griffin Award video and my teacher was like, and the questions, yes, so many questions. And yes, completely true. I completely agree. Too many at times. But yeah, I wanted to thank them for like all the things they did for me through my result, like it reflects on their teaching abilities because they're very good teachers. And I wanted to kind of show that through a score. That's like the easiest to quantify. And also like, you already try-harded for 2 years to get into university so that you show them that you have good grades. Like, why not get the result, In the grand scheme of things, IB and like a 45 or maybe even undergraduate degrees may not even matter. But I think it shows the type of person you are and kind of your character. And when I spoke to my mentor about this, I had or he messaged me like a really interesting thing where like he mentioned like it's always good to celebrate the little victories on the road ahead. Although it might not be important 2 years from now, it's a great achievement worth to celebrate today. I completely agree. Like, yes, it might not matter in the future, but these small victories and you being on the right path and being on where you're trying to go is really important in my opinion. Last thing is learning from others. There's so many things that I learned from others, and I mentioned all the people that helped me earlier on, like whether that be teachers or my friends, like I learned so much from them. And I think that originally I was kind of ignorant because I was like, I had that mindset of like, oh, don't care what other people think. In terms of like, think about you as a person, maybe in a judgmental way, I guess that has like a underlying meaning. But I think that it's even just about like the way you work. And I think that you should always listen to others, whether they achieve sevens, whether they achieve worse grades. like I've learned so much from people that don't achieve the same grades, not because they're any way better, but it's just because they just haven't put in the time, and over time they did put in the time and they got the grades, but they had resources way better than mine, and like things that I would just never have found. Like for example, IB Docs. Like while I do not affiliate myself with them or like agree or like support whatever, like because they release copyrighted materials from the IB documents. If you look that up on Google, they have a bunch of practice tests, and I agree the fact that like I think it's very. I guess it's good to like enable all students to have the same opportunities, because yes, many students have all the practice tests in the world, and is that really fair that some people are excluded from that? Because after all, practice tests are probably the most important thing in studying. So listen to others. Don't be ignorant, like probably I was, or that I was. And don't isolate yourself in essence. Like always learn from others. Try to learn what their work for them. Try to apply it, and yeah, I would say like always try to apply the things with good intention and try to do that. Now some tips and advice. One of my friends, he recommended, or he told me that he like watched YouTube videos and like things that he learned. Like I use YouTube videos to learn, and you'll see that on all the advice that I'm going to give on like resources. But he recommended watch things on 2x, 4x, 3x speed. And I was like, how can you learn on like 4x speed watching videos? But for reviewing things, I agree. I can't learn at 4x speed. I can maybe learn like 1.5 to 2, depending on the difficulty. But yeah, it really depends on you. I also linked some other resources in the description. And then I would say some closing thoughts. I think one thing is careful of what other people post online in terms of Reddit. I only mentioned this because one of my friends, he made the number 2 post currently on r/IB, and he mentioned like, oh, I went from a 34 to a 45. Don't listen to everything people say. Like, be careful. Have your own reasoning why you want to do something, and also like, of course, hear them out, hear their advice, but be careful about all the things online. Like, if people don't have the proof, I guess. And last thing is just thank you for all the support. Like, you guys have like 20 comments on that video. It's crazy. Like, thank you so much, guys. Like, I appreciate the support, and I'll continue to release like guides. I'm actually gonna record an IB English one right now. During the week, I'll post it, and yeah. So, good luck, guys, and I hope you enjoyed.